Bro, how you today?
Chilling, man.
What's going down, man?
There's a lot going down, man. Pause.
This isn't the Cam that I thought that I was co-signing. I would never expect you to be this person.
How you doing, man?
What's up? What's going down? What am I missing? What's happening?
What I'm seeing you're doing on your platform is just tearing down other black men.
I'm here to make sure you good, you know?
I appreciate it, man. Thank you very much, man. I'm good. It sounds like you want to say something. Get the sound. What, you got some lyrics? What you got? What do you got? Because I have a folder for defensive purposes at all times. It's a folder. I have my folder available.
Yeah, I hope you're ready, man.
I don't know. I don't know what you're up to, but
I'm seeing you sit with your ops and talk about your brothers. OGs.
I'm on your team, you know?
Good. You got the pink on today. I see. Both of you, actually. Yeah.
Harlem has always been more than just another borough. It's the birthplace of giants, a stage where culture is created, and a battlefield where reputations are made or destroyed overnight. When you speak Harlem and hip-hop, two names echo louder than most: Dame Dash and Camron. Once boasted as icons, pioneers who gave Harlem its style, its sound, its swagger. Dame Dash, the fiery co-founder of Roc-A-Fella Records, the man who redefined hustle in the music business. Camron, the smooth-talking hustler turned rap legend, who built Dipset into more than a group, it became a movement. They should have been brothers forever. Instead, today their names are locked in headlines for the ugliest reason possible. A lawsuit worth $300 million. Not 3 million. Not 30. 300 million. A number so wild it shook Harlem streets like an earthquake. And the question everyone's asking, how did it get this far? According to Dame Dash, this wasn't just about money. He says it was about betrayal. It was about being humiliated, lined up, and disrespected until he could no longer stay silent. In his words, Camron didn't just throw shade. He said,
I know who you was talking about, man.
That's what I wanted to say, Kim. You gotta chill out, Kim. You gotta chill out, Kim.
Yo, you wild, man.
For my birthday, you gotta chill out, Kim.
You're a wild man. Ain't even your birthday month no more. I don't know what to say.
Stop.
You turning into a chatty patty.
Stop this show.
Bro, don't be a chatty patty. Oh man, my bad.
That's why I was asking you, are you okay?
Yeah, I was trying to. I was looking for the topics. I wasn't sure. I didn't put sure I found the topic now.
Yeah,
I kind of was just making sure. Now I understand what's going on. I'm usually not that slow.
he set him up. He dragged Dame's name through the mud and crossed lines Harlem's code never allows. And so Dame Dash made a decision. Instead of fists, instead of street politics, he went to court. But before we get there, let's rewind. This story doesn't begin in 2024 or 2025. The roots go decades back to the early 2000s, when Dipset was folded into Roc-A-Fella. From day one, there were whispers of tension. Camron wanted more respect. Dame Dash wanted more control. And somewhere in the middle sat Jay-Z, quiet but powerful, watching the cracks form. Those cracks never fully healed, and Harlem never forgets a grudge. Fast forward to recent years. Camron starts using his platform, it is what it is, to throw jabs. Sometimes they looked like jokes, sometimes like subliminals. But to Dame Dash, they were daggers. He felt Camron was deliberately humiliating him, dragging up old Roc-A-Fella business, turning the internet into a weapon. To make matters worse, there were whispers of money floating around NBA YoungBoy's name. Mase stepping in, Harlem loyalties being tested. Dame Dash felt surrounded, cornered, betrayed, and then came the words that broke him. "You lined me up," Dame said. In Harlem slang, that's more than an insult, it's an accusation. It means betrayal at the deepest level. To Dame, Camron wasn't clowning. He was setting him up to look weak, bitter, washed up. And if there's one thing Dame Dash has never accepted, it's looking like a victim still. He stayed quiet at first. Diss after diss, he let Camron slide. But the moment Dame gave a critique about Camron's movie Honor Up, and how it was filmed, Camron allegedly snapped. Years of resentment boiled over. To Dame Dash, this was proof Camron had been waiting, holding it in, ready to explode. And then Dame made his move. He went public. He announced the lawsuit, not for pocket change for $300 million. Fans were stunned. Was this real? Was it just Dame Dash being Dame Dash making noise? But then came the court filings, the social posts, the paperwork. Suddenly, this wasn't internet chatter. This was real. And here's where the drama twisted darker. Because Dame Dash didn't just accuse Camron of disrespecting him. He claimed the feud spilled over into his family. He said his wife, his kids, his household were made uncomfortable. That the line between rap beef and real life had been crossed. For Dame Dash, this wasn't a rap issue anymore. It was personal. That's when he called it his Godfather move in interviews and posts. Dame compared Camron to Frito, the infamous betrayal in The Godfather Part 2, where family turned on family. To Dame, this lawsuit wasn't just about money. It was about sending a message. He wasn't going to fight in the streets. He wasn't going to risk blood. He was going to fight in court, with the same ruthlessness Harlem once taught him. But Harlem didn't see it that way. The moment the lawsuit hit, the city split in two. Some sided with Dame, saying Camron had gone too far, that one's family is dragged in. All bets are off. But many others saw it differently. To them, Dame Dash broke the unspoken code. Harlem doesn't sue Harlem. Harlem handles Harlem. And by running to court, Dame Dash looked like the very thing he once mocked, weakness disguised as strength. The irony was impossible to ignore. Dame Dash, the man who once stood on stages screaming about loyalty and independence, was now using lawyers against the Harlem brother. The man who clowned others for suing was now the one filing paperwork. To many, it felt like a betrayal of his own legacy. To others, it was survival. But the noise didn't stop there. Because as soon as Dame Dash dragged the courts into it, fans started asking the real question. What was this really about? Was it money? Was it revenge? Or was it ego? Two Harlem legends too proud to back down? And that's where part 1 ends, with Harlem buzzing, fans divided, and the lawsuit looming like a storm cloud. But what Dame Dash did next shocked even those who still supported him. Because this fight wasn't just about court filings anymore. It was about crossing the one line Harlem swore no one should ever cross. When news of the $300 million lawsuit broke, fans thought they had already seen the peak of this feud. Dame Dash had filed the paperwork, the blogs had run wild, and Harlem was split down the middle. But then, Dame Dash did something no one expected. Something Harlem called the Unthinkable Diss. Because Dame Dash didn't just keep this fight in the courtroom. He went further. He brought Camron's late mother into the drama. And that's when the story crossed from shocking to unforgivable. In Harlem, there's a code. You can clown a man's career. You can expose receipts. You can even tear into his pride on camera. But families, especially the dead, are supposed to stay off limits. That's not just a rule. That's sacred. And Dame Dash broke it. In one rant, Dame referenced Camron's mother, a woman Camron himself always honored as the foundation of his life. She wasn't here to defend herself, and she certainly wasn't part of this fight. And yet, Dame used her memory as a weapon. Social media exploded. Harlem veterans shook their heads. Fans who once idolized Dame Dash now flooded timelines with disbelief. Dame Dash stooped that low. One fan tweeted, "He really dragged Camron's mom into this. That's beyond disrespectful." Podcasters, YouTubers, commentators, they all piled on. One line summed it up: you can't preach loyalty in Harlem honor, then drag another man's dead mother into your beef. That's not Harlem. That's weakness disguised as strength. The irony cut deep. Dame Dash had spent years calling out weakness, mocking people for suing, demanding loyalty and brotherhood. And now, he was suing Camron, weaponizing court papers, and crossing the one line Harlem said you never cross. To critics, Dame had become the very thing he once ridiculed, but Dame Dash saw it differently. He defended himself, saying this wasn't hypocrisy, it was survival. "I never wanted violence. I don't want blood. But I will protect my wife and kids at all costs. This is my Godfather move. My Frito moment." He posted that Frito moment stuck. In The Godfather Part 2, Frito betrays his brother Michael, and it leads to one of the coldest acts of family betrayal in film history. By comparing Camron to Frito, Dame Dash wasn't just saying Cam betrayed him. He was admitting it hurt more because Camron was once like a brother. Still, the damage was done. Harlem wasn't buying it, and as Dame Dash ranted online, posted explanations, and doubled down on his lawsuit, Camron stayed silent. That silence became its own weapon. In Harlem, silence isn't weakness, it's strategy. The more Dame shouted, the more desperate he looked. The more Cam stayed quiet, the stronger his position grew. Fans began comparing Dame Dash to an old man yelling into the void. fighting ghosts from the past. And then, after weeks of silence, Camron finally broke it. Not with screams, not with lawsuits, but with Harlem slick talk. He painted Dame Dash as bitter, washed up, clinging to memories. "You were once my brother. Now you're just a clown," Camron said. Simple, cutting, and timed perfectly, the internet roared. Harlem crowned him the winner of this round. Because in Harlem's code, you don't have to swing first, you just have to swing last. And Camron's single punch landed harder than any lawsuit could. But here's the tragedy, the damage was already irreversible. By dragging Camron's mother into the feud, Dame Dash triggered disgust that no comeback could erase. Families are sacred. The dead are sacred. And Harlem never forgives when those boundaries are crossed. The fallout was brutal. Fans dug up Dame's past the Roc-A-Fella breakup, the endless interviews blaming Jay-Z, the reputation for burning bridges. One Instagram comment went viral, Dame Dash built empires, but he can't keep a brotherhood. Jay-Z left. Biggs left. Now Camron. The common denominator is Dame Dash. That stung because it carried truth. Every empire Dame touched ended in flames. Every brotherhood turned into a war. And this lawsuit against Camron felt like history repeating itself. Meanwhile, Camron leaned into Harlem's son role. Calm, collected, untouchable. He didn't spiral. He didn't overreact. He let Harlem crown him as the one who kept the code. And that distinction, keeping the code, meant everything. But Dame Dash wasn't finished. He insisted the lawsuit wasn't about money or clout. It was about protection. He said Camron crossed lines with his family. So he retaliated. He claimed forgiveness and wore in the same breath, "I forgive you, Camron. But don't ever disrespect my wife and kids. Protect them at all costs. Disrespect my wife and kids. Protect them at all costs." That contradiction, half forgiveness, half threat, only made him look unstable. And instability in the court of public opinion is a death sentence. The feud split Harlem in two. Some said Dame disgraced himself. Others argued Camron had been poking the bear for years and finally got what he deserved. The city buzzed with debate like it hadn't since the Dipset versus Genie days. But in Harlem, legacy matters more than victory. You can win the case and still lose the war. And that's what critics believe Dame Dash has done. No matter the outcome in court, his legacy is scarred. Harlem won't forget that he sued another Harlem legend. Harlem won't forget he dragged family into it. Harlem won't forget he broke the code. Camron knows this. That's why he doesn't need another diss, another lawsuit, another post. His silence, his timing, his refusal to stoop down, that's his victory. Because Harlem has already chosen, and so the story closes not with a courtroom verdict, but with a cultural one. Dame Dash may win money, or he may lose it all. Camron may fire back again, or he may stay quiet forever. But Harlem has delivered its judgment. Dame Dash broke the code, and Harlem never forgets.